The social emotional health of our educators has been interrupted in significant and profound ways since the onset of the pandemic, right? The transition to, remote learning, the being put under the watchful eye of families and districts and caregivers at a time when everyone was angry and everyone was in the early stages of grieving and had a lot to say, and they were under resourced and under support, to then be considered and championed as frontline workers who are helping to support, right, our nation, as we kind of saw the arc of it, right, and then being valued, but only to a certain point, and then it like flipped back again. Somehow, it was a couple of months in, there was a recognition of, wow, what our educators doing is so valuable, important. We could not do this without them. And then it transitioned into being hurtful and shameful of all the things that educators were engaged in, and with the additional demands of narratives around learning loss and what wasn't happening, and criticism and critiques at kind of all levels of the stakeholder system. I'll say, as an education researcher, I have not met an educator over the course of the past 19 months who has stopped working since the pandemic started. The labor, the emotional and social labor that our educators have been under in being able to meet the needs of every student and family over this time has been profoundly impactful on their own personal lives as well. The decisions that I have met educators making over the course of time, of having to take leaves of absences and early retirements as a result of different policies that were coming down from states and districts, of how they were going to instruct, and having vulnerable members of their family at home and not being able to engage in that matter, to the decision making happening in ways that were centralized and kind of left out their voice or their students or their experience. And so being put in situations that made them question how they want to teach and how they want to engage, from things as simple as the protocols and the spacing protocols in classrooms. I haven't seen many educators teaching with desks and rows spaced out and standing in front of a classroom. That model of instruction has been gone for a while now in our nation's schools, and there was a push to put it back, and there were many educators who felt like, well, that wasn't going to work for the ways in which they structure their very carefully tailored learning environments to support the overall health and wellness of their students.
For more information about social and emotional learning, please visit readingrockets.org. This project was made possible by a partnership between the National Education Association and WETA.